waves. You just want to dive into the waves. Just head on. Right into that wave.
Whatever wave is coming towards you.
Hold on to your glasses, your boogie board, your bathing suit.
Okay, I like it. I dig it. Because I dig it.
Just dive.
Who says that? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Winding Waves. I am your co-host, Amanda.
And I'm Karen.
As you can probably tell already, this is our first episode at Winding Waves here. There's been a bunch of planning and organizing just happening behind the scenes, and we're very excited to get this started.
I don't know what else to say.
So why don't we jump into what this podcast is going to be about, I guess, and then we'll talk a little about who we are so that if you don't know us personally, then you kind of have a little background on us so that you know where we're coming from when we're talking about all these topics we brought.
Although I imagine everyone listening probably does know us because we're not that cool.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
That's it.
So, Winding Waves is a podcast that's going to be about life and, the ups and downs, especially, with 2020 coming to a close and 2021 beginning. I think everybody has experienced a lot of
ups and downs,
mostly downs, I feel like, with 2020. But we also want to point out all the ups that may, have happened in our lives or for other people. Did you want to add anything to that little?
I mean, eventually hearing other people's.
Mm-hmm. We do plan, right, to have guests on Winding Waves.
Guests as well as listener questions or their advice or questions.
Mm-hmm. We want this to be an open discussion, I guess, right? Like, we're going to come with a topic each time we upload, which we still have to figure out how often we will be uploading. But we want it to be like a very open discussion with everyone. Follow us on Instagram at Winding Waves, and we'll be posting, and you can ask us questions and give us topic ideas and kind of keep the discussion rolling.
Be able to interact.
Yes. So that's what Winding Waves is going to be about. Do you want to do a little background about yourself, or you want me to go first?
I'm not prepared for this.
Me neither, but tell me about yourself.
So, how much do we want to know?
How much do you want to share?
I know.
Would you like me to?
Should we just tell about the other person?
Ooh.
Just a quick summary.
Okay.
Of the opposite person.
Okay. Scary. All right.
I don't know if I like that idea.
I think first of all, we should say, how do we know each other? Because those people that don't know us are probably like, how do they know each other? Are they just friends? What's going on?
Sisters.
Sister.
That's going to sound really great. So we've discovered with these microphones that we are professional singers.
Only when we have the headphones on.
Yeah. So the recording is great. Maybe that's the trick.
Maybe.
These famous people aren't really that great, but they just have really great microphones.
Or editors.
Or microphones.
Anyway, so we're sisters.
Look forward to our new Christmas album or...
dropping end of 2020. One. My bad.
Anywho.
So do we want to do it that way? You want to tell everybody about me? Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so I guess we could go real quick. So, I'm Karen, but I'm going to tell you about Amanda. So, Amanda is married to Danny. I don't like calling him Dan, but I feel like he doesn't want to be called Danny. Dan, who's from England, but is slowly losing his accent.
Yes, very quickly.
Amanda, would you like to do your British accent impression for everyone?
Why, hello there. I used to be really, really bloody good at my accent.
Okay,
and
that's
then...
enough.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cut me off.
She's been going to school for her whole life.
Oh my god.
And it's about to be over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. I don't know when people are going to listen to this, but, you know, you're going to be done soon.
How long is my whole life?
Like forever. So you're 20. How old am I? You're 26.
Oh my god.
And you're finishing school. And then
for what?
You're going to be...
I knew you would.
This is terrible.
This is going great.
I know it's art. I know it's therapy and art related, but I don't know the exact title.
I'm getting a master's.
I know it's a master's, but I don't know of what.
Mental health counseling, specialing in art therapy.
Interesting.
Continue.
This is stupid. I don't want to do this anymore.
I really like this. Because you're in the hot seat, and then I'll be in the hot seat.
In her spare time, which isn't much, she likes hanging out with Belle.
Oh, yeah.
Which is technically our family dog, but, like, she pretty much just replaced me when I moved out. Mm-hmm. So...
She became our mom's favorite daughter.
Yes.
It's really depressing, but she deserves the title.
She tells everyone, everywhere we go, that fact.
Yes. What else? Do you even know me?
Is there anything else that needs to be, like, how much are we, like, including here? I'm not giving, like, a whole life story.
I think that's good for now, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what else? Really?
Well, I'm sure
School,
everybody...
Belle, and Danny. That's
my
about
life.
It. I mean, there's some art-related things in there, but, like...
lacking in that area.
School-related.
Anyway, so that's me. I'm sure you'll learn a lot more about me and my life as this podcast continues, because we're going to be sharing a lot about our own opinions and our own views of things. So you'll hear more about all of that. Karen.
I don't like this.
Why don't you like it?
Why did I think this was a good idea?
To switch it?
I mean, I guess it's better.
I think it's cool. I think the viewers and listeners are going to be interested in it.
Because then we're going to be talking about ourselves the whole time.
Yeah,
so, like,
it's fine. We're going with it.
Anyways.
So Karen here is my older sister. I think it's important to say
Good fact.
older. Yeah. I'm the younger one.
Well, I said you were 26.
Well, you didn't say how old you were, did you?
I think I said I'm 29.
Oh, okay.
If I didn't mentally thought it. Okay, you go.
She's my... my 29-year-old sister. She's 3 years older than me. She just recently quit her job as a... I don't want to downgrade
medical
it. I was gonna
receptionist?
Okay, I was going to say receptionist at a medical facility. And, you know, is currently figuring out her next steps and got her real estate license and is moving towards becoming a real estate agent in New Jersey.
Hit me up. Need that money.
So, yeah, she moved out quite a bit ago when we replaced her with our new favorite sibling, Belle. And she lives with her boyfriend. They just got a new house. And, yeah, she likes to bake and cook. Mm. And she is a plant mom. If you're not watching our video on YouTube at Winding Waves, plug. I am currently pointing to one of her beautiful aloe plants that is just thriving.
But the other ones that are not on camera are not thriving. When we moved here, I didn't find a good sunny spot, and I overwatered one, so I'm pretty sure it's drowned and dead, so we might have to.
I do feel like we could do an entire episode on plants because I cannot keep any alive for the life of me. We both got succulents at the same time, and mine turned into ash, and hers is, like, really thriving. So, yeah. Anyway, that's Karen for now.
That's good.
I think that's good, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, today's episode, we thought it would be a good idea to kind of start where Winding Waves kind of was born. The idea was started when I felt really, really stuck in life. Yeah.
Which I imagine everyone has felt, is feeling. Not that I want to wish it upon anyone, but may feel in the future for so many different reasons.
Yes. And I think I felt stuck for a completely different reason than Karen did at probably around the same time. So we're going to kind of dive right into this like that water pun that I used. Dive right into it.
Lots of water puns.
Is that a pun? Is that what it's called?
I don't know, I guess.
But analogy?
You're trying to relate it to the idea of waves.
Yes. I'm a Pisces.
I don't know what that means.
I'm a water sign.
Okay.
So I really relate to water.
What is a Taurus?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like a bull?
I know, but like
Is
you just
it?
said you're water, so like what is
I feel like you would be like a fire sign. Should we look this up? This is irrelevant. You look it up while I continue. So, being stuck, I have kind of felt this way. I am a graduate student. I know a lot of my friends who are also graduate students feel this way. When you're in grad school, especially our program, it was such a long program. Hopefully when this is being posted, I am more positive and happy that it's done. But during it, you kind of get this feeling like you're stuck, like you're not moving forward. For me, I was doing a lot of classes full time throughout each semester, had life things going on. I was married, living at home with my parents.
That could be a whole other episode. I don't think we wrote that down.
Living at home?
Yeah.
Versus not living at home?
Yeah.
I agree. We'll have to write that down. Okay. Thanks for that side note.
Yeah. I didn't want to go off on a huge tangent.
Yeah. No, living at home with my parents. And at the age of 26, when you're married, you kind of feel like your life should be in a different spot. Like you should be making a lot of money, having a good job, maybe having children, having your own home, not living at home with your parents. I don't know why I'm like embarrassed to say it, but
I mean,
yeah.
It's a pretty great deal.
I mean, yeah, I'm very thankful and grateful that they let us, stick around there for a while until we're able to get on our feet once I graduate and get a job. But in the moment, you kind of just feel stuck. And I think a lot of it comes from comparing yourself to other friends or people on social media.
Comparing.
Ding, ding, ding. The downfall.
Number one issue of
everything. So, yeah, that's just like my background of where I felt stuck and was feeling stuck, that I wasn't able to move forward because I couldn't get a job that was going to pay well enough with the few hours that I had available between interning, classes, and life. And my internship has been unpaid, so that also adds to it.
And how many hours a week are you putting into that?
At least 20 to 25. It's been a fun time. So, yeah, I had a job at one point, and I was waitressing, and wasn't very happy doing that. I was working double shifts, coming home with money, and was miserable. So, yeah, I chose to focus on school. That was my choice, but I think in the moment you just kind of feel stuck when you see people your age that graduated, didn't get their master's, and are, buying homes, having babies, and getting engaged and married and living life and seem to be happy. Seem. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I said that.
I'm just going to repeat random words.
Seem to be happy. So, I think it's just an interesting topic because everybody experiences it at some point, I think. So that's kind of where I was coming from with the idea. I don't know, in your words, how you feel or felt stuck.
Different. So, like, not that you felt stuck in your career because, like, you don't have a career yet. Like, I'm
making the steps, yeah.
Mine was always job related.
Mm-hmm. I like your socks, by the way.
In case anyone, they have
hot air balloons. Cute.
And back so many random topics right now. I think a Taurus is in Earth. Is that a thing?
Yeah, Earth.
Earth.
Okay.
We'll have to look into that a little more.
Yeah, astrological signs are really interesting. I wish I had time to...
I was always stuck career-wise. To the point where I would always be, like, happy with my job, like, with the people I was with, but never, like, the job itself. Like, I always
felt comfortable.
Yeah, like, I was always comfortable, but I knew I could be doing something better. Not even, like, just better as in money, because usually that was always
You were
the
always
issue.
overqualified, I think, in my opinion, for positions.
Probably. But, like, nowadays, a college degree is kind of just, like, you have it, you need to get a master's, or...
Yeah, you have to get a master's. Give your soul to that master's
know someone
program.
Or have started somewhere that, like, it just expanded since your internship that you started in college.
Mm-hmm.
I have a business management degree.
Is that what you went to school for?
That's what I went to school for.
Interesting.
No idea why. I always kind of didn't know what I wanted to do and thought that was, like, a very general topic, but I think that was the issue because I didn't pick something specific to go into.
It was too broad.
So I was always doing secretarial things.
In hopes of going
And, like, thinking, like, yeah, like, becoming, like, more of a managerial position, but every job I had, it never was able to turn into that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I was, like, misled when I was hired, but, like, somewhat misled on multiple jobs on where it could go into. But it was always, I was stuck because I was comfortable and everyone was so nice and, like, they were, like, family and, like, really close friends because you're spending 40 hours a week with them.
Yeah.
But knew I had to try something else.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I decided that I was going to quit my job months ago.
Long time coming.
And and when I did quit, no one was surprised. They were
because
kind of just
you were
waiting
overqualified.
for it. Yeah. So I need to stop saying
singing break.
Then this whole real estate thing is a process. I will tell you that. A process and money out before any money is coming in. So I'm at that stage and just waiting to, make the big bucks. But not really. Just want to make money.
Just want to see
any
something.
money that comes into my bank account versus it just going out. But just being, like, stuck and just stuck, almost like comfortable. You could feel like you could be stuck and be comfortable, or be stuck and be uncomfortable. And thankfully, I was comfortable and able to make that change instead of having to just
suck it up.
Yeah.
Which
all the years of being a camp counselor back in the day of just saving that money because, at 16 and 17, you have no bills or anything to pay. So that was all saved up. So I always had that as like a backup or whatever you want to call it.
And I think we're both kind of privileged in that way to be able to say that we're stuck, but we somewhat felt comfortable.
Yeah. I think the way our parents think of money was I've learned very different ways that people handle or use money. And we've always been very save, which I guess could be a good and a bad thing. Because, I don't want to spend things because, I want to save it. But then you should also kind of enjoy your life and, like, buy something. But
I think works
it does help
ways.
in, like, these situations where we can both fall back and that sounds terrible, not have to work.
But it's true. That's where we're at. And I think we both know that we're privileged in that way to be able to not have to work at that moment or whatever. Which, I mean, it sucks to be able to say that sometimes because of things going on in the world and other people aren't as privileged, but that's where we're at. So don't come at us. We're just saying where we are. We do want to hear input from other people too and hear your stories of feeling stuck because it sucks no matter what level of being stuck you're at. It sucks. Because you feel like your life is just not, you're not moving forward in any way. You feel like, this is my life, this is how it's going to be, when is it going to change?
Yeah, and now especially, we'll probably get into it in a whole other episode, but just this year itself, like, just stuck. Like, no... And even, like, now the weather is getting not great to be outside.
So you're stuck in your home.
Yeah. I know we've been trying to be outside as much as we can, even, like, trying to get a heater to, like, put outside so, like, you can get some fresh air and be outside.
Yeah. I think going off of that, it's, like, in what ways can you change feeling stuck? And I think when you're in that, you feel so trapped and, like, there's nothing you can do. Like, everything's happening to you versus what you can control. And I think that perspective change, my therapist role is gonna pop out during this. I can already tell, because I feel like I'm falling into that role of, like, okay, let's change that and reframe it. But I think it's true is when I was feeling so stuck and I would fall into that kind of spiral of, like, well, why don't I have a house? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that?
You have to think on the other end. But I do have blah,
this.
blah, blah.
Be grateful for what I have, but also see it. This is what I love, is I read some sort of quote that was saying, like, this is more about comparing, but this is why I felt stuck. But it was like, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 8 or something like that. Where I am right now, that chapter in my life maybe stretched out. You know, my 20 to 26 maybe stretched out because I'm in school versus somebody who skipped ahead chapters because they didn't have grad school. So I think it's important to kind of change your perspective in that sense of, like, I just lost my train of thought.
That you don't have to be at the same stage of life as other people.
Or even where you expected that you would be
at this age.
At this age. I think you have to kind of accept where you're at, but also know you're moving forward no matter what. So, like, I might feel stuck, but I'm moving forward in my career because I'm in school. So I am moving forward. It just feels like I'm not.
It's because others current, but it's also the way, like, if you think about our parents, they graduated college, were married
around the same age as me.
But the same,
Young.
like, right out of college, and then had me a few years later.
Soon after.
So young.
And had jobs.
20s.
Yeah.
And then you another 3 years later. Yeah, like, had full-time.
Oh, yeah, and me. Rude.
Full-time jobs. Not to go back to what I was saying, but the same idea. Our fathers had the same job for 35
like, straight out of
years.
Yeah.
Responded to a newspaper ad looking for a math major, and he applied and got the job. So, been with the same company, doesn't understand you could send your resume out on a website to anywhere and not get one response. You go on an interview, it goes great, and then not get a response, whether it's like a yes or a no.
Yeah. I think the times are so different in that sense.
So, like, when they're like, just go get a job, just go get it. It's like, you can't. Even, like, trying to go there was a restaurant in Pennsylvania when we lived there to try to get a job. I had been a waitress for, I don't know.
Ever.
At least 5 years, if not more. And they wanted me to come back for a second interview. And I was like, why not just, like, let me start and do the job, and then you can use that as an example. But instead, they didn't want that, and thankfully I got, like, a full-time job in that period. But it was literally crazy that that's the process just for that job. With a college degree.
Yeah. It's a crazy world now, I feel like, especially in the job. We could talk about that a lot. I think just even picking a job, figuring all that out. But yeah, it's so different. It's like we have all these decisions to make, and I don't know, in that sense of just feeling stuck, it sucks. It really does.
I feel pretty stuck in these pants. haven't worn jeans and decided just, live it up and put some jeans on.
And our cute socks.
Some mom jeans.
Mine are so cute.
But,
Yeah, what else do we want to say about being stuck? I feel like I could talk about it a lot. But now I'm blanking out.
I keep thinking the idea of, like, I feel... not that we own a house, and that makes me feel stuck, but, like, the idea of living somewhere else. Like, I feel literally kind of stuck here just because of just the world we're in now, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can go... We always wanted to try living somewhere, but you want to, like, experience that area. So to go anywhere now, you're not going to go and experience it. Like Nashville. I went to Nashville, you go out to all the bars, they're packed, there's music, there's everything. You go there now, you're not experiencing that same thing. So it's not... How are you supposed to know if that's where you want to spend your life?
Yeah.
But also the fact that, like, our whole life is here. But also, then you go back on... You're not really seeing people right now. So does it really matter where you are, whether you're 30 minutes or a bajillion miles
But I think
away?
Also that goes into, I'm going to go back to this point, is feeling comfortable. Because I do feel like other people would want to take that risk, right? And just be like, you know what, whatever, let's just do it. And they're fearless, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're the type of people that are less risky. Like, even Danny will he would concur with this. Look at that fancy vocabulary. That I am not a risk taker, and I'm definitely not. And, like, he would move in a second. He did move in a second, all the way from England to America, and so we have very different views on that. So I think it is a lot about fear and comfort in being stuck. And I think we do it to ourselves, right?
Because we could go.
You could go.
At any time.
Yeah. Do it.
Where am I going to go?
Anywhere.
Then Joe's newest idea was...
Did we say who Joe was?
My boyfriend, I guess.
For those of...
Did you use a name?
I don't think I did.
For those few select people that are not in our lives that are listening to this, we really appreciate it.
We do really appreciate anybody that's listening to this other than ourselves listening to it back.
Which I'm dreading.
Cringing at our voices.
His new idea, which I don't absolutely hate, but again, it's that comfortable, scary, huge risk of an idea, which a lot of people I think are doing now, is to get a van or some type of mobile vehicle and to travel in that vehicle.
Okay, for those of you that might be watching on the video, I just made a face because I've never heard this before. And yes, we're sisters, but we talk every day probably, but we don't talk about real things.
It's just been like a thing.
Okay.
Like an idea, because I think a lot of people are doing it. Like,
and
a lot of people do it when they're older.
A lot of people are doing it now. I see a lot of people that are doing it now.
So that was an idea, but like, I need things. Like, I like to shower and like be clean. Like, yeah, maybe I don't wash my hair every day or every other day or like very often
or like
at
a whole
all.
week.
But like, there are some like creature comforts that I need, and I know Joe knows that. But like, our budget for something like that, our budget is not something that I would love. Like, we've watched so many YouTube videos and so many people that...
Like, you need something with running water that you can hook up to.
Which, like, you can.
But then you have to, like...
Then you have to have the heat and the hot water, and, like, I know Joe could do all of this, but it's, like, a... But then it's also, like, there's some, like, real nice, like...
Fancy.
I don't know what the I don't know all the words, like, RV, da-da-da-da. I don't know the, like, difference, but some of them are, like... I don't need a lot of space, but, like, I want a toilet.
You want to be comfortable.
I want a shower.
You want to feel human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the people that just got, like, a little van, and it's like, oh, I'm going to fold up my da-da-da. Like,
Different
no.
personalities.
There's some people that you can just do that. Like, the one guy was, like, a bicyclist or, like, mountain biked. He didn't even have a bathroom. But, like, he's a boy.
Yeah.
So he'd just go to the bathroom. And then he had, like, a hose attached to the back that he would just, like, rinse off.
Interesting. Yeah, see, that to me sounds appealing in a sense because you get to travel and see the world, which is something I want to do, but I'm not willing to be that risky. I'm too comfortable being around family in my home, like my safe place.
But then my thing is, like, yes, we can go and experience a lot of, like, outdoor things. But can you experience the indoor things?
No.
Like, not
like in these other states? Probably not.
Like, especially, like, who knows what's going to happen or what people are on lockdown, what restaurants are open, what closed. Like, what if there's, like, a barbecue place in Texas that, like, I want to see and they're closed?
Yep.
And we drove all the way from New Jersey to Texas.
I think that's a problem this past year is just not being able to do the things that we used to do.
Yeah.
But bringing it back to being stuck, just so that we're not too far off of what we wanted to talk about. I had a really good point, and then I just lost it.
I'm comfortable, and we know that we're stuck, so that would try to be a solution to us being stuck. Feeling stuck. We're not literally stuck. But.
I think what I was going to say is we do it to ourselves. We're not stuck because of other people. We're stuck because of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, Joe's probably stuck because of me because I don't want to go in a van. But he also...
Well, yeah. But, like, he could just be like, yo, I'm going in a van by myself. Bye.
And then I'd probably just go.
Well, yeah. Would you?
I probably would. Because, like, at any point I could just, like, come back.
Could you?
I mean, if we did that, we'd be renting this house out.
Yeah.
So, like, realistically, I couldn't just, like, come back.
I think...
This would not be in your budget to rent.
You don't know my budget. Don't even have a job. You don't know my budget.
But, like, we would need to do the full price.
I think that we do it to ourselves. And I think that's the biggest struggle is it's not like it's an external factor that's affecting us necessarily. It's ourselves.
And even if it is, we're blaming it on the external factor.
Yeah. So, like, I say I'm stuck because of grad school, which I am, but I'm also stuck because of myself. Like, I chose that path, and I could technically push myself to be working a job and making money or doing something to make money while in grad school, because I know a lot of people that are doing that. But for me, mentally, it just wasn't working. So I chose to focus on school. So that was my choice. So I kind of made myself stuck in that sense. But also, it's my perspective of it. I could be going around being like, I'm not stuck. I don't know what you're talking about. I love living at home with my parents, and I love being in grad school, and I love where my life is right now. Instead of saying, oh, I feel so stuck.
Ugh, Mama's vacuuming again.
Yeah. Shout out, Mama's probably listening to this while vacuuming. Yeah, our mom loves to clean, so we'll probably be saying that a lot in this podcast.
Maybe we can get, like, a sponsorship for vacuum, like a vacuum company.
And or Lysol or something. Hit us up.
Hook her up.
Hit us up. Mama, I almost said our last name. For those of us, everybody knows us who's listening to this. Let's be real.
We're going to be positive. The whole world is listening to this right now. Everyone. What else does anyone have to do besides listen?
Everybody is listening to this. Hello, Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber, Jimmy Fallon. Who else is there that we would want to listen to?
I don't really want anyone to
I don't really want anybody. But we do appreciate anybody who's listening. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is we do it to ourselves, which makes it even harder to change, I think, because I think changing things around us is a lot easier than changing our mindset. So what I've been doing to kind of change that for myself is I have actually been journaling in my journal. I used to do it every day, and then I realized that wasn't realistic for myself But I was doing, and I continue to do, gratitude and affirmations. Gratitude is basically, for me, when I do it, I just write down what I'm grateful for that day or whatever time I'm doing it. A lot of the time I write down I'm grateful for Belle because she's so cute. But yeah, I write down.
Dog.
She's.
I know we mentioned it, but just throwing it out there again.
That's okay. She's human secretly. But yeah, I write down what I'm grateful for because it kind of, changes my perspective from that thinking about all the negative things and all the things I don't have to thinking about, what I do have in my life. And it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. And then I write affirmations kind of about my future to also make me feel like I'm headed in a direction. So that's what I do, and it's been helping a lot to change my perspective. But I also think the fact that I graduated is also something that, is changing my perspective because now I can move forward and do other things. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot that you can do to change your perspective on this. I don't know if you've been doing anything. I know you pushed yourself to quit your job and change things. What kind of... I feel like I'm becoming... we're in therapy now. But what made you take that step, finally? Tell me all the things.
I don't know if it was one
other than me saying
thing.
Quit already.
I mean, everyone was, besides the people that I worked with. I mean, even some of the doctors I was working with, they obviously don't want me to leave because I was
doing a good
job. Doing a lot of good work for them, but they deep down knew, you don't belong here. There's no reason for it. But I don't know if there was, one thing that just, pushed it.
Yeah.
I think Danny talking about real estate and saying that he needed help.
Oh, yeah.
A partner.
Danny does real estate, by the way. I don't know if we said that.
To...
among other things.
Kind of just work together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just something I didn't want to quit and have absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people don't quit until you have another job.
But during COVID world, I feel like that transition wouldn't have been easy if you had to switch to another job. Not that
I probably could have gotten the same job that I had with a different company.
But that's what you didn't want.
I was also waiting to see if we were moving to this house because then my commute would have been quite longer and that would not work for me. So I was holding off for that to happen and it was just a long process. So I was just not going to wait anymore and I just kind of just did it. But like I said, I wanted to make sure there was something productive to be doing.
And I feel like
during that,
we all encouraged you to do it because I think real estate kind of hits the points in a job that you want. Not that you necessarily ever dreamt about being a real estate agent.
Yeah.
But I think for your personality and to make you feel like you're not stuck in a job that you are overqualified for. Okay. Ooh, what happened?
I remembered what put me over the edge.
Ooh.
So I've worked in customer service my whole life. Mm-hmm. Restaurants.
Yeah.
Receptionist related jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I always liked getting to know the people and making that connection or relationship with those people coming into your job.
Really?
Yeah. I want to hear their life. Yeah, I want to hear oh, so-and-so went on a date. I want you to come in. That's why physical therapy was the best because people were coming in
regularly
3 times a week. And it'd be oh, I just went on a date.
Interesting.
I have a date tonight. Oh, cool. I can't wait for him to come in on Thursday and tell me all about his date.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool.
You like people?
Mm-hmm. But that would be the cool. Or even at the restaurant, you would get the same people. Hopefully the people that you like. Continually.
Yeah, regulars.
And you just are involved in their life. And I mean,
and
I definitely like giving people food versus the medical side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, I know you broke your leg. I want you to get better, but I'd rather serve you pancakes while your leg's broken and you'd be really excited to have those pancakes. So that was always in the back of my mind. But I was noticing in the doctor's office I was in, a lot of those people, you're not coming continually. It's like, yes, you see some of the same people, but it's generally not
regular people.
Regular. Like, maybe they come in for, like, a few months if something was broken. And,
yeah.
But even then, I may not see them because I may see the person that sits next to me.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily always make as many connections. And I feel like a lot of people were always very angry or cranky or upset, and, like, that's fine. Something is bothering you. Cool. But then it was, like, coming out towards me. And as a person in that position, you can't be rude or nasty back to the person, which, like, I normally wouldn't anyway. But the way people were starting to act towards me, I was starting to get a little...
feisty.
Not aggressive, but, like, I would want to fight back and give them the same attitude they were giving me. And I knew that was not right, and that I shouldn't be doing that. So, honestly, most of the time it was me standing up for myself or my coworkers, telling that person that they can't treat us the way they're treating us.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want
You were fed up.
go to work every day and be in a battle fighting someone.
Yeah.
Old, young,
And that's
all
not
ages.
what the job is for.
So it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And, like, anything positive wasn't being... Like, any patient that I, like, really made a positive impact on, it was great, but there weren't, like, enough.
Yeah.
It was a lot of just...
The negative was
the opposite.
outweighing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think you're the type of person that... If our parents are listening to it, they will agree with me. I don't know if this is the correct term to use, but you're a little bossy. Should we insert a clip of our childhood videos of you yelling at me
I think
to
I'm
do
only
stuff?
bossy to you guys and Joe.
But
I'm never bossy
because I think
to anyone else.
But that's how you are. Because you can show us who you really are. And it's not bad. It's not.
No.
I'm not saying this in a negative way, even though, like, sometimes it can be a little bit negative. But what I'm saying is that quality in you to, I don't even know if it's bossy, but kind of manage things.
To keep the bossiness inside.
Of yourself?
Because I can't be bossy to
No.
people.
Just hear me out. Like, I'm going to compliment you.
Okay, go.
Just working my way there. My God. Ew, David.
Dude.
What I'm trying to say, if you would let me speak, is... Oh, now I lost it. Is that you're bossy, but, like, in a managing way where, like, you do well in a position where you're in charge because you are good at, like, organizing things and keeping things in order, in my mind. Because I know I was a waitress when Karen was the manager at a restaurant that we both worked at. We're not going to get into that. It was a lovely experience. Anyway, but she did really well at organizing things and not being a manager in a way of, like, where the employees hated you. Do you know what I mean? You were hearing everybody out and making sure everybody was happy and satisfied, and did it well because your personality fell into the more leadership role. That's where I was going. Not bossy. Let's scratch that word out. Leader, like a leadership role. Versus, like, someone like me, I'm less outspoken in that sense where I don't really stand up for things necessarily. And I'm not good at, like, bossing people around.
But, like, I'm not... When people say bossy, I think
There's such a negative.
With negative, but also yelling.
But you're not.
I never yell.
I think I need a synonym for bossy in this moment, but what I'm trying to say is a good skill that you have, and I think that's why real estate is good for you, because you are able to manage your own time and your own schedule and not have a boss that is telling you what to do and where you feel stuck in a sense of doing what somebody else is telling you to do. Do Do you know what I mean? That's where I was going with that.
Yes. Like, I think it will be good working with Danny because he has the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And he will have somewhat of that, I don't want to say the word boss again, but like a boss role above me because he has that experience, but I have things that I can bring.
Yeah, I think you guys will make a good team.
Or the plate.
You're going to butt heads, but in a good way.
Yeah. But I think I do have that. I don't know where we were going with this. Like, the leader, because I never, any job I had, I always wanted to make changes to make things better.
Mm-hmm. And you had no position to do that.
But I had no position to do that.
Yeah.
Or, I just didn't have the, like, power to do it. So I would do small things that would make it better.
Yeah.
But it would go
But
nowhere.
I think what I'm now realizing is where I was going with all of that. This is why we need to have notes. This is why we said in the beginning.
But you could, like, scribble it down.
Yeah, so I could be like, oh, we should say that.
Yeah.
But basically, I keep looking at this, like, different color of your ceiling in the corner over there. It's really distracting. We painted this room, by the way. If you're watching the video, we painted it.
I hope it's on the camera.
Okay, it's our first episode. We are working with what we've got. We're going to improve as we go. But, wow, we go on a lot of tangents. Anyway, what we were saying is I think a way to change things when you feel stuck, similarly to how you felt stuck, is in your career, I guess, is to really figure out who you are and what skills you have in the job world and in life, and like your personality traits and what you want, and mixing that. Doing career counseling, by the way, is what I think is what you needed at that point. But like using those skills of like what you're good at and what your personality trait is and what wasn't working for you in those jobs to bring to your next step and figure out what is going to fit with that. And real estate might not be it, but that's what it is for now that you feel fits, and I think that's fine. Does that make sense?
It does. But
like changing it by thinking about your skills or where you're at and really sitting with that.
Yeah, that's annoying though. I gotta like breathe. I need other people to tell me what I'm good at.
You don't know what you're good at?
No. I mean, like, there's some things, but I feel like from an outsider's perspective, it'd be like,
helps.
oh, when we worked together, oh, and we did this was your strength, and you sucked at this.
Yeah. Because I think we do have a perspective of ourselves, and then other people will be like, girl, no, you are really bad at that. Like,
yeah, like the singing
I'm
thing.
so good at singing. Like, that sounds amazing, which actually it definitely doesn't. But like, maybe I think I sing great, and then I'm gonna actually edit and listen back to this and want to break the screen. But yeah, it definitely helps hearing it from other people. And I think support when you feel stuck is so important. Because when I was feeling so trapped in where I was, the amount of times my friends can attest to this in our group chat that I said, I'm dropping out because I felt so stuck and like I was never getting anywhere. I said it almost every day or whenever something happened.
But you put so much effort. It's been so much time and effort to like give it up.
And I think hearing that, like, you're getting somewhere and you're getting to the next step, like you're working towards it right now, made me change that perspective whenever I would say I was going to drop out. And it took a while to change that perspective because the amount of times I said I was going to drop out was a lot. But like hearing that constantly of like, but you're working towards your next chapter, your next
and you're
step.
closer to that than
I think hearing that
down.
from other people was really helpful, and having that support of like, wow, this sucks right now, but it's only temporary, was important to hear. Like that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You're moving on to the next thing. I don't know why I'm so thirsty.
I'm so thirsty and I have nothing to drink.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just an interesting topic. I feel like we could go off and off, off and off, off and on, off. We could go off on this topic.
On and on.
on and on. No off.
On and on.
We could go on and on about being stuck because I think it's a sucky experience that a lot of us have had. It's kind of a depressing topic now that I think about it to start a podcast with, but I think it's such a real...
But we've gotten a lot of...
I think it's so real.
But there's so many positives out of it.
Yeah. And
Like,
I think...
as many times as I felt stuck, I got myself out of being stuck and into another situation. Yeah, I got stuck again, but
that's life.
I learned so much and met so many people
Yeah.
at all of those
It all happened
situations.
for a reason, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I need a notepad. I think it's so important to talk about these things because I feel like on social media, which adds to this feeling, nobody talks about this, right? Like, I feel like you don't see a lot of influencers posting, wow,
I think now...
I feel so stuck in my
now
life.
everything's getting a little more okay for
talk
people
about.
to talk about it, which is nice. But like, yeah, that's what, like, you're not going to go on Instagram. I mean, now again, it kind of is going that way, but you're not going to be like, you're not going to post something like. But now people are doing it, so I don't want to say it. Like,
yeah, it's
had the worst day ever.
Yeah, it's kind of uncommon.
Like, no, you're just gonna put out like, oh, I just had a baby, I got engaged, I'm getting married, I got a house.
The happy things. Because who wants to look back and see a picture of themselves crying because
like
they
you want
wanted
to document
to drop
the
out
positive
of school.
things, which now I guess that's a good way to think about it. You want to document the positive things,
but I think
like people have to realize that that's only you're just documenting positive things, but there are negative things.
Yeah.
Because I know so many people that look in. Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about this because I feel like everyone at some point in their life goes through this. So I think it's important to just even bring it up in a discussion or in your thought process when you're listening to this to think about whether you are stuck and how you can get out of it or start this discussion of kind of the sucky feeling. Because it sucks, but I think it's something to talk about and normalize because when you're in that feeling, you feel like you're the only one. And I think it's important that we normalize it and talk about it and help each other. So, yeah, we're going to conclude this episode for today. We want to thank everyone or anyone.
I like that, everyone or anyone.
That is listening or watching this on YouTube or our listening platforms. That's the word. Yes, we appreciate that.
Leave us some nice ratings, some nice comments.
Follow us on Instagram to interact with us.
What you want to hear about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do
we have
all.
like a
end slogan or
thing.
What should we say?
Dive in.
Stop making fun of me.
I thought it was good. That's why I picked it.
Yeah, but what are you saying? Dive into
the rest of your
day,
evening,
night, life.
Just dive in.
That could be.
Just dive in.
I don't like it.
Yes, I like that a lot. Waves. You just want to dive into the waves. Just head on. Right into that wave.
Whatever wave is coming towards you.
Hold on to your glasses, your boogie board, your bathing suit.
Okay, I like it. I dig it. Because I dig it.
Just dive.
Who says that? I like it. I think the visual for that is really empowering. Do you know what I mean? Like when that big ass wave is coming at you.
I'm not imagining like people like getting like taken down by the wave.
No, I picture them going straight
through.
Like, you know, when the waves are coming and you're like, hee hee hee, I gotta go under.
Yeah, but like solid through.
You go straight under, dive right in.
Yeah. Boom.
What's that song?
No, we can't sing it.
Okay. I don't know the words anyway.
We stopped recording.
All right. Well, thanks guys for listening.
I'm Karen. Dive in.
I'm Amanda. What she said. Yeah, we'll hear you. Can you tell that we're done? We didn't put
the music in.
We will see and
oh yeah, let us know what you think about the music. I haven't heard it in a few weeks, but I really thought it was jam.
We made the music.
You're really gonna dig it.
Stop making fun of me. Anyway, that is all for today's episode of Winding Waves. We appreciate all of you for listening, and we will be back next time.
See ya!
Dive in.